Hey folks, good morning. Joe Mangicotti here from the Joe Mangicotti Show. That's right, starting at 6 a.m. this morning, 6 to 8 Sunday morning, 6 to 8 Saturday and Sunday morning. So we're in day 2 of the very first weekend of November. Don't forget we have elections coming up locally here on Tuesday. We'll talk about that a little bit. I've got a stack of the push cards, and what I did is just over the last few days, what came into the House and what came into the P.O. box, I've just set aside. We'll take a look at them this morning. We might hear from a candidate or two. I don't know. That could happen. You can always join the conversation at 508-871-7000. That's 508-871-7000. We do have a text line, 617-297-8388. And if you can't text, you can actually email us at textjoeintheradio@gmail.com, and it appears on the same screen. So, that's pretty cool. All right, what are we going to talk about? Well, there's always a lot to talk about. New York Post put out an article. I'm going to take a look at it. It says, hey, Trump isn't the guy we expected and even that we wanted, but he's the guy we needed and he's the guy doing the job. So let's take a look at that. Kamala Harris is, her campaign is all but kaput and down and out, hemorrhaging money, isn't able to raise any more money, which remind me about that because there's something else about raising money for politics I want to talk about. But Kamala Harris is saying that the problem is that she's a female and she's black. The only problem with that argument is this is the primary, and the only people concerned with her right now are the Democrats. The Democrats who are going to either elect her to be the nominee or not elect her to be the nominee. So her problem is only with Democrats. The general population, meaning the entire country, isn't at the point to care what she's doing or what she's saying because she needs her party nomination. So, interestingly enough, the only people that she could possibly be calling racist and sexist are, in fact, her fellow Democrats. Think about that one for a second. All right. Job numbers. Absolutely fantastic. Getting back to the fundraising thing I was going to talk about. So during this vote, which wasn't exactly and didn't go exactly how Nancy Pelosi thought it was going to go, but Donald Trump raised over $3 million that day. They did the vote, and it caused millions of dollars to come into the coffers, giving him a total of something like $15.9 million in a very short amount of time since this impeachment stuff has talked. So the more that they continue with this bogus impeachment, which is inequitable and illegal on every front, it drives not only support but monies to the RNC and to the Trump campaign. But we can talk a little bit about that too. Judge Jean really had a great opening about this the other night, and it's not how it's done. Shifty shift in a skiff. That's what this really amounts to. Shifty shift in a skiff, and it's not supposed to be happening in a skiff. It should be out in the public. We as Americans have a general sense. We don't have to be lawyers, right? You don't have to be lawyers, and you don't have to be prosecutors or judges to have that understanding and that sense of fairness and right and wrong. And we have a general sense of we're allowed to face our accusers and cross-examine them. And the rules and the conditions that they've set forth for how this is proceeding is absolutely disgusting. And it just fits the whole narrative that they've had from day one. I mean, the day he swore in, the day he took office and was sworn into office, minutes later, the first article comes out with the word impeachment. The first word, the word impeachment, graces the lips of Democrats and even the media. On the day that the man got sworn into the office of the presidency of the United States, and they have been in search of a crime for an impeachment for 3 years, really, and you can see it. They've lost credibility. When you have members of the Democratic Party saying, we have to impeach him because we can't beat him in 2020. We have to impeach him because we don't like the fact that he won. We don't want him to be president. So we're going to undo the entire system. We're going to undo America's will. We're going to undo what the voters said. We're not going to let voters interfere with the election. Let that sink in. We're not going to let the voters tell us who will be president. It's absolutely crazy. And of course, we'll take your calls. Hopefully, we'll have a little fun. We got some vignettes and some good segments from Out with Joe and Handling Change that we'll sprinkle out through the morning. And we'll just, we'll spend Sunday morning together. I'll grab a cup of coffee. You grab a cup of coffee. A little Joe with Joe in the morning. Cup of Joe with Joe in the morning. Yeah, there you go. New tagline, guys. Anyway, I will see you on the radio starting at 6 a.m. this morning, and follow us on our social media platforms at Joe Mangi Show. That's M-A-N-G-I, Joe Mangi Show. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Online at joemangishow.com, or just go to tjmshow.com. Joe Mangicotti, see you on the radio.